leadership students, this week we're focusing on learning how to lead the warm-up. All right, I got some notes with me here because I want to be able to go through quick. Last couple of times I've tried this video, it's gone way too long, so I'm going to speak fast. 4 points you got to think of as you're leading the warm-up. You got to know what your goal of your warm-up is. Right? The first thing is it's got to pump them up. It's got to get them excited about being here. Some of them are coming from work, some of them are coming from a long day at school. You got to pump the students up. That's your goal as the instructor leading that warm-up. Second thing is it sets the tone for the class. That's the other reason why you want to pump them up. If you're starting off slow and moving slow and you don't have a lot of energy in your voice, well then they're not going to have energy, and that's going to just kind of make the whole class feel like it's dragging along. So set the tone for the class. Third is get their blood pumping, stretch them out. That's what a warm-up's supposed to do. So it doesn't necessarily matter always the type of drills you're doing during it. Something that gets their blood pumping and gets them loosened up. That way they're ready for the class and the lesson we're going to have that day. And the last thing, the fourth drill, if you utilize like a theme of the week, then find a way to fit that into your warm-up too. So utilize any extra themes of that week or that cycle that you're dealing with in that warm-up. So going back real quick, the first thing, pump them up. That's got to mean move the class at a brisk pace. Keep it going. Don't have any downtime from one thing to another. You just finished up the bowing or whatever, and now you got to be thinking about, okay, what do I want to do first? I guess we're going to run in place, or we're going to do push-ups or sit-ups, whatever. It shouldn't be any thinking about it. It should be you know what's going to happen, so go on to the next thing. Keep the pace moving quick. That means that you have to have a plan for it. So you have to plan your warm-up out. A lot of times I like to use the same warm-up for an entire cycle. Occasionally I'll mix it up myself just to keep things fun for me and fun for the students, but I'll have a basic warm-up structure that I'll use for that cycle. In the next cycle it may change up a little bit. A lot of times this depends on what I saw at the belt testing previous to that cycle right there. Okay, I saw that we need to work on some back stances, we need to work on getting our hips here in this certain move, so I'm going to make sure we work that somehow into the warm-up, okay? But I have that structure set from day one of that new cycle, then I know, okay, here's the warm-up I'm going to use this cycle. So you can continue to use the one that I'm using for any given cycle, or you can make up your own. I don't mind, as long as it does the right things, as long as it gets their blood pumping and stretches them out and is appropriate, right? So have a plan for it. That'll help keep the pace moving. And then you got to find ways to give challenges. That's the other thing about pumping them up, right? It's one thing to just say, have them do stretch kicks, and then and they keep doing it just this high, and you're not challenging them, and they're not challenging themselves, so they're never going to realize that they can kick up here instead of just down here. And so if you set that challenge for them, even at the very beginning, even in warm-ups, then it helps set the pace for us when we're going to lead drills later on, or forms, and I want them to put more power into it, or something, better stances. Then it sets the bar and it reminds them, oh yeah, here I can't just get away with slacking. I've got to constantly, they're constantly challenging me, or I've got to challenge myself to get better, and they're going to make me. They're going to point these things out. So that's what you got to do, right? Find some way to set some challenges. We'll talk about other ways and good ways about going about doing that maybe in future videos, and definitely in classes as we're working on it as a leadership group. Setting the tone for the class, that second drill we were talking about, setting the tone for a class, we kind of re-hit that a little bit. Make them move quickly, not just move quickly yourself from one drill to the next, but you're asking them to move from here to over here, from their spots to a straight line or something like that. Make them move fast and make them answer sharp to you. Don't settle for walking in class, I'm tired already or something, or don't settle for, okay, when you release them to go get water after you've done some stretches or something. Make them answer sharp. That's setting the tone for the class. From the very first moment they come in and they're lining up, make them move fast. If they lining up for class and they look already slow and lazy, they're just walking to their spots or walking to the front. No, stop. Send them all back to the back of the room. Start over again. Just let them know you've got expectations and you're going to hold them to that expectations, right? Other things, still in setting the tone for the class. Remind them to answer up. We talked about that just now. You could make them do it over again. One reason they might not have done it though, and if you want to make yourself really look successful or really look like an instructor who knows what they're doing, then learn how to pre-frame your instructions to them. Okay, so you could say, all right, go get 30 seconds, here's 30 seconds, go get some water and come right back. And then, no, stop, come back here, do it again. I didn't hear anybody answer. So you can make them do it again, sure. Or you could be one of those instructors who thinks ahead and says, okay, look, I'm getting ready to say go. You're gonna go get some water and get your gear on, and in 2 minutes you're gonna be right back here on your spots ready to go. You understand? Yes, sir. Don't you be lazy, don't you walk, and don't you dare not answer up. I wanna hear you, ready? And you're already getting them pumped up for answering sharp and moving fast. That's pre-framing your instructions, what you want them to do, your expectations. And that way when you say go, you don't have to stop and call them back because they didn't do it the first time. You've already told them, okay, here's what's getting ready to happen. You're getting ready to go do this and this, but you better answer sharp, and I want to hear everybody. I want those moms and dads out there to go, oh, my eardrums, because it's so loud in here. Ready, go, and you're getting them pumped, even just for going and getting some water and getting their gear on, whatever it is. So pre-frame them, that'll help them answer sharp and help set the tone for the class. Last couple things, get the blood pumping, stretch them out, obviously, right? Whatever we're gonna do, we're not gonna do kicks and target drills and all that stuff or sparring until after we've done the warm-up. The warm-up's the very first thing that's gonna happen in any class. So we gotta find a way to loosen them up a little bit, and then stretches is gonna be a part of that. So you may have different stretches you wanna do other than the normal ones we do during the warm-up, and that's fine. But again, have a plan for it, have it in your head, and don't let it linger too long. Make it go relatively smoothly. Here's one stretch, do it this leg, maybe 10 seconds, you're counting down, then the other leg. I personally don't like to have just a whole bunch of silence there while I'm doing a stretch. Either I'll be counting down, I don't like to make the class count down in it at all because either they're going too slow or too fast. So I'll count down to keep the speed, or sometimes I'll just make it part of a conversation. So how's everybody's day today? There you go. Okay, other leg over here. Who did this in school today? Okay, and then back to the middle or something. I'll make it. I don't like to have dead silence there. I don't want the whole class just to drop out from underneath me a little bit as far as their energy and all. So try to find a way to keep the stretches even looking like they're moving. And last thing, if you got a theme of the week, so the theme of the week might be front kicks, okay? Well then figure out how you're gonna fit front kicks and front stances or something in a couple floor drills. If you've got, the instructor may give you 7 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that to do a warm up, and it's gotta include getting their blood pumping, doing a couple floor drills and stretches, something like that. That's your basic warm-up, okay? Well then figure that out and say, okay, well then the floor drills I'm gonna do are gonna be front stances and front kicks, or whatever it is that we're dealing with this week, right? Back stances and side kicks or round kicks or whatever it is. And find some way to do that creatively to where you can get the whole class involved with it, and you can still find a way to give them challenges, right? Because you gotta set the tone for the class. So think about that. That's leading the warm-up and all the things you gotta be thinking about as you're doing that, or at least the